ライン証券。
Hello, I'm Pearlie Yap, the lead portfolio manager of the Asia Oceania High Dividend Equity Fund. As many of you know, this fund has been around since 2005 and remains a flagship offering for Asia Pacific ex-Japan equities for investors in Japan. I've been working on this strategy since I joined Eastspring in 2011. Let's recap on how we got here and where we think we are going. We all know the COVID-19 story and the many trends that were accelerated, like work from home and e-commerce. With the sharp about turn in life from COVID lockdowns, many businesses were directly affected and ways of doing businesses had to change quickly. Companies were forced to make difficult decisions with changes in the way they do business to keep their balance sheet strong and ensure enough liquid funds to sustain themselves through uncertainty. Many companies that were high dividend payers had to suspend their dividends, with limits imposed by regulators on important industries like banks. These dividends are coming back, and I will share evidence with you on this shortly. Our outlook for 2021 is optimistic, with vaccines and reopenings propelling a cyclical rebound in areas of the market that were left behind in last year's internet-led rally. In addition, the US has put on a large fiscal stimulus of more than $4 trillion, with another potential increase of $2 trillion for infrastructure spending. Asia will enjoy the benefits of this fiscal boost. Asian countries like Korea, Taiwan, and China, with high levels of innovation and strong technology exports, will also enjoy a big boost in this digital age. Cyclical sectors like energy and banks have staged a strong comeback, and the Asia Oceania Fund is well exposed to these areas and has navigated the challenges adeptly. But we are not out of the woods yet, and our team spends a lot of time thinking about what's next, what could go wrong, and where the risk to the recovery is. Trade tensions, climate change implications and challenges, transversing the after effects of COVID, and the market volatility are all on top of mind. The Asia Oceania's Fund's approach aims to deliver returns and income from across the region. We like to build a portfolio from a diverse pool of stocks across the 13 countries and 11 sectors. We have been investing in these markets for decades and have deep experience in navigating the many challenges. On this slide, we highlight the MSCI sector relative performance in 2020. The sector rotations have been very wide and often turn quite sharply, hence the need for managers to closely monitor positions and understand market dynamics. Markets rarely move in a straight line, so active managers like us try to take advantage of these changes in sentiment and valuations that could drive sector performance for the portfolio. And here is the same chart for 2021. This is a shorter period and the moves between sectors are more pronounced with even higher volatility. So we continue to stay on top of developments to pick best ideas at reasonable prices. During the peak of the pandemic of March 2020 to April 2020, capital preservation was front of mind for management teams. Since then, we have seen a resilient economic recovery in most pockets of Asia, with strong liquidity and growth support from policymakers. As such, we think companies will resume dividend payments alongside rising profits. Many of the cuts to dividends were in the financial sector, and these were mandated by government regulators. The banks in particular are looking well positioned for a dividend rebound. Moving on to another exciting area, semiconductors. We think the semiconductor space is very attractive and we are just at the beginning of the digital journey. The intensity of computing power will only accelerate, and semiconductors go into almost every IT device, and now more so in 5G mobile handsets and EV cars. Semiconductor chips also underpin massive emerging trends like cloud computing, wireless networks, self-driving cars, and artificial intelligence. It's a very crowded space with a global supply chain and many players. But our team has been covering this sector for decades and has been able to pick long-term winners like companies TSMC and Samsung, but also niche ones like Chipbon and ASM Pacific. To wrap up, let me remind you of our approach in the Asia-Oceania Fund. In 2020, we delivered a return of 15.2% and year-to-date 7.5% in US dollar terms. Sector winners come and go, but we successfully stayed ahead of the turning points. For example, energy was a weak sector throughout the year, but started to deliver at the back end of 2020. At the same time that the popular healthcare and consumer discretionary sectors gave back some of their earlier gains. We have a skilled and professional team that are strong stock pickers, and we look for the best opportunities for you. You can trust us to engage companies to ensure that they allocate capital to the best investments to deliver long-term sustainable returns that will in turn result in higher dividend payments. We are also paying more attention to ESG to ensure that our companies strive to protect the environment, do good socially, and support shareholder interests. We are excited as ever about the opportunities for the Asia-Oceania Fund, and we think Asia has entered a golden age of technology innovation. Thank you for your time today and for investing in the fund. We hope to be able to update you in the future with more interesting stories and positive performance.